Good afternoon. This is Paul Hoyt, CEO of Ascending Harvest, bringing you our almost daily update with my best friend, good buddy, business partner, resident inventor genius, Shane McKenna. We're going to talk to you a little bit about the status of Ascending Harvest and our crowdfunding campaign. And then Shane's going to share some interesting information about some people he's been meeting over the course of the last few days. I'm always intrigued because he meets such fascinating characters because hey, he is a fascinating character, and I think the law of attraction is in play here because people just come to him who have great stories to tell and who are passionate and who he can collaborate with to bring great things to market. So I'm excited to talk about that, but before we do, Shane, say hello to the folks.
Hello, everyone. This won't be showing up on my page live. I left part of my technology in my Jeep today as I was going out and meeting with people, and I forgot to bring it in to my lovely home studio here. So, so I will share that as soon as we get off this broadcast, and I have the ability to do that without being distracted for too long.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do that for you or not, but I'll give it a shot here.
Well, while you're doing that, I would like to announce something that's unrelated. Well, I should say mostly unrelated to Ascending Harvest. I am going to be doing a project with Jackie Chan. Yes, the movie star Jackie Chan. And I can't really share how that came about yet, and I can't share the details of what we're doing, but it's just a little teaser that there's some more information coming. But yes, I am going to be doing some work with Jackie Chan, and I'll just say that it is in alignment with Ascending Harvest.
I think that's great. I'm typing this in, by the way, on Facebook. Shane is doing a secret pocket project with Jackie Chan. Shh. So maybe we'll get a little interest there, and people will reach out to you and wonder what the heck that's all about, just like I do. Because, folks, if you're listening to this recording, I want you to know that Shane is really, really good at keeping secrets. He's been teasing me about this secret project for a few days now, but I know hardly anything about it too. So I am eager to learn more about it as it unfolds over the course of the next. Is this something for the next few weeks or something for the next few years, Shane? How long are you just waiting?
I don't know how long Jackie and I will be working together on this project. I hope that it's a lifetime project.
Wow.
It is an impact project. It is something that's going to benefit the planet, and really that's all I can say at this time. I'm super humbled and excited that I have been asked to work with Jackie on this project because, let's be honest, Jackie has a lot of people that he could choose from to do projects with, and the fact that I was brought up and accepted to do that project is pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome. I would fall into the category of someone who would be willing to do a project with Jackie Chan.
I don't really follow celebrities. I mean, I've had celebrity clients because of what I used to do in my art existence in my past and in different lifetime. I did work with some A-list celebrities, and but I'm not a celebrity guy. It's they put their pants on one leg at a time, just like the rest of us. And I appreciate what they do. I appreciate the talent. I appreciate the voice that they're given because of their prominence in society and the ways that they can use their voice to make amazing things happen. But, I don't follow them. I don't know who's who. But Jackie Chan specifically has been a movie hero of mine. I don't think there's any of his movies that I haven't seen. Wow. And I'm a big fan. And, when I shared with my kids, oh my gosh, because my kids and I watch some of the Jackie Chan movies together because he mixes a lot of comedy elements into his movies. And most of them are movies that you can watch with your family. And so they were like, "You're working with Jackie Chan? Oh my gosh, my dad's going to be so famous." I
Well, we'll
got the
keep our fingers crossed
dad.
that that's exactly what happens. That you become famous for that reason and for the reason of the success of human-powered hydroponics and ascending harvest, which I was an attempt at a segue to get us back on track here. Um, so we're very excited about the status of the project. We're up over 40%. We're up over $11,000 in being raised. Thank you very much to everybody that's contributed. Thank you very much to everybody that is sharing. We do have a triple match program in play right now. And I'm guessing that most of you who are in our networks, either Shane Network or my network, received an email in the last few days that talked about that. We have a benefactor who came up and said, whatever you raise, for the campaign, I will match it threefold. So if you raise $50,000, I'll put in another $150,000 for a total of $200,000. So we are excited. That means that every dollar that you put in turns into $4 with this particular project. So we're very excited about that, and we've had quite a few donations in the last few days in response to that advertisement, to that announcement. So, pull out your wallets, put your fingers on the keyboard, give us $1, give us $5, give us 20, and that turns into 4 to 20 to 80. So we're very excited about that.
And more importantly, that turns into food. Yeah. That triple matching means every dollar that you put into turns into 40 pounds or more food. And I'm going to share a story a little bit later here that was conveyed to me by a gentleman who grew up in an impoverished environment in a foreign country, and I'm going to get into that. But that 40 pounds of food for that dollar that you donate, that is massive. There's no way. There's just no way to get that much food to an individual, to a family, to a single mom, to a child in Africa for that little amount of money. There's no equivalent to that. So please, I would encourage you to help empower people to grow their own food, because the bang for the buck, the leverage of that dollar into a system that allows them to grow their own food is massive, and not just for the day, but for decades of their life and on into the future.
Well said, as always. Shane and I were talking earlier today about what we were going to talk about today, and I suggested that we go back and look at some of the topics that we have done in the past, because, hey, we've been doing these for like 45 days, and things have changed over the last 45 days with the company. And I think we're going to do that in some days to come, and perhaps interview some of our sponsors and friends of the campaign as well. But Shane has talked to me and said, hey, I've met some really interesting people in the last few days, and I'd like to talk about them. So I'm always interested in the interesting people that are attracted to Shane, some real characters out there, because, as I mentioned earlier, he himself is a real character. So Shane, talk to us. Tell me about some of the interesting people you've met.
So over the weekend, we were involved in a bazaar. We put up a booth in a senior bazaar. The purpose of the bazaar was to raise money for a local senior center. But there were a bunch of vendors in the bazaar, selling clothing and books and jewelry and toys and all kinds of things represented there. But we participated in that to help raise a little bit of money for the senior center, but also to promote Ascending Harvest and what Ascending Harvest does. And so a gentleman came by, and, he was, as soon as I mentioned human-powered hydroponics, this guy was like laser beam focused. He was like, what? He says, tell me more. And so as I described what we're doing, basically the conversation went is, I can't believe you've invented this. He said, I've been really focused solely on hydroponics for the last 4 years. He says, I'm an inventor. I invented a technology that enabled us to extract oil without all of the carbon in the atmosphere. So he says, I was this long-haired hippie in Boulder, and an engineer, and I seen this opportunity. If we're going to pull the oil out of the ground anyway, let's do it cleaner. So he basically created a $2 billion company to extract oil in a cleaner way. And but his focus the last 4 years has been on hydroponics. And specifically, he's been trying to solve the energy consumption and the infrastructure requirements of hydroponics. And he talked to me about how it's really only efficient for microgreens and very high profitable crops like cannabis. He said that's why everybody's growing greens. You know, nobody's growing other types of produce because it's just simply not profitable. We can't do it. It requires too much energy and it requires too much infrastructure for the amount of the value that we can get out of it. And I said, you're hitting the nail on the head, because this is the same problem I came up against when I was the CTO of AgriSphere some 10, 12 years ago, and we wanted to grow non-traditional crops in hydroponics, and there wasn't a way to get to an energy and infrastructure efficiency that made it less expensive than importing the food. So he's been trying to crack that nut for the last 4 years, and he was in a little bit of shock that he met the gentleman, meaning me, who had invented it. He says, you know, I'm an engineer. I have over 125 patents to my name, and I can't believe that you're the guy that invented this, and we live in the same town. He says, he says, that's just crazy. And so we compared notes. But I just want to tell you that story to validate that what we're doing is truly unique and different and cutting edge. This has never been done before. That's not an overstatement. It has never been done before. And we're doing it in a way that's going to benefit those who need it most first. So please join us in helping us do that. So that's one story. Paul, would you like to have some time before I go to the next one?
Well, I'll add just a second or two, is that, you know, the phrase disruptive technology comes to mind. Out here in Silicon Valley where I live, we're cautioned against using the phrase disruptive technology because people try to claim that so much. You know, we have this new thing that's going to disrupt the universe, that's going to change the way that people interact with computers and, you know, and form relationships or whatever it happens to be. So angel investors, venture capitalists are tired of hearing that term. But God help me, I think it applies in this case. You know, because it really is going to disrupt the way that we solve the hunger problem. You know, it's never been possible before for anyone anywhere to grow their own food with no experience and no soil and very little water. All they need is a little sunshine, temperatures above freezing, you know, some organic material, and they've got it. You know, we can give them the seeds, we can give them the systems, and over time they can grow their own crops and really supplement their own food supply, which can go a lot towards, you know, helping them live a healthier, happier life. They'll help their brains work more so that they can learn the things they need to learn and do the things they need to do to break themselves out of poverty. So I'm very, very excited about that, and it really can disrupt the way that good people like you and me and the people who are listening to this recording, you know, reach out our hands to help people up. Instead of giving people a hand out, we're going to be able to give them a hand up and empower them to grow on their own, which I really love it.
Yeah, exactly. So I went to a meeting this morning, and this meeting was basically a bunch of entrepreneurs who are building social equity into their companies. So either their company is focused on a social cause, or they're putting some of the energy in their company behind social causes, so that they are creating that social equity, so that they're doing some good in the world and leveraging what they're doing to help make the world a better place. And one of the presenters in that meeting, she is a young woman from Columbia, and she is a graduate of an engineering school, and she has decided to put her energy and put together a team of people that are building technology infrastructures for rural farmers in Colombia. And so we had a chance to visit, and she asked me a lot of questions about our technology. And her response is she was literally astounded at what we're able to do by giving people a systematic way to grow food. So she's very connected with the rural farmers of Colombia and has come here to raise money for her project. And when she learned how we're able to take somebody who's never grown anything and give them the ability to grow their food using a simple system, that was something that really astounded her, because the reason that they're applying technology to the rural farmers is to be able to bring training videos and the ways that people are farming in other parts of the world and in other parts of Colombia to these rural farmers so that they can learn farming processes. And the idea that you can grow your own food without learning these farming processes, she was like, I want to be your representative in Colombia. I can get these systems out to the rural communities of Colombia where they're so needed. She's so excited about our technology because of what it does. And again, I don't want to keep beating this drum, but it's hard not to say we are doing something completely different, something so new, something that's never been done before, that when we encounter people who are in the industry, it's astounding to them.
It is, and it's astounding to people all over the world. We've talked a lot about developing countries and refugee camps and our outreach to Africa specifically, Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda, etc. But we're finding interest in a lot of other countries too, like Colombia. I'm certainly there's other countries in South America that are interested. I found a lot of interest in India because areas of India have a lot of poverty and a lot of issues with overpopulation and, a lack of an ability to grow their own food. In Pakistan, and literally, every country that we go into, including the United States, we find people who raise their hands and say, but what about this? Over here in this area of our country, they really need your help too. On the border in between Mexico and the United States, in Appalachia, in West Virginia, in other places where they've been hard hit by changes in technology and weather issues. It would be really, really great, for example, to go put a few thousand systems that are in the path of Hurricane Michael, as part of FEMA. I would love to do that and give people a sense of, getting back into the home environment that they have and empower them to grow their own food. So this is a universal problem. It's a worldwide problem. And frankly, we're willing to start, wherever there's an opportunity for us to start. The first person who comes up and says, we'd like to give you a grant of $100,000 or $500,000, we'd like to put 10,000 systems in this particular case, in this particular area, we are eager to do that. And so please line up at our door. We're ready to have that conversation.
Yeah. Now let me share another story that really wraps this all up and brings it home. So while at that meeting this morning, I met with a gentleman named Oz, and Oz grew up in Jamaica in the 60s and 70s, before Jamaica was much of a tourist destination, before, people traveled for those kinds of vacations en masse, and before there was much aid into the country. He said, we lived in horrible poverty. And one of the things is our family had the ability to grow our own food. And because we had the ability to grow almost enough food to feed our family, we were actually considered almost wealthy.
Wow.
So in that poverty community, we were almost wealthy. He said those people who had the ability to produce more food than their family consumed and actually provide food to others, those were the people who were wealthy. He said, so the fact that we could grow our own food in that level of poverty, he said, people in the United States don't understand what a massive game changer that is. And so he pledged his help to our campaign. He said, I'm going to do anything that I can do to help you succeed, because this is so viable and so needed in these communities of poverty, because if somebody can grow their own food, they will literally be the wealthy members of their community, and they will lift the rest of the community out of poverty. He said it will take time, but that's what happens. He says the person who was selling eggs to the neighbors in Jamaica when I was young is one of the wealthiest people in Jamaica now. They were able to leverage that, and they were able to lift the whole community because they were providing something that was so needed, that a protein source, a food production source, something that can be used in so many different recipes and provide good, solid protein to people. These kinds of empowering opportunities lift people literally into a status of being leaders in their community. So we're not just talking about people growing a few tomatoes. We're talking about lifting the entire community by lifting members of that community, by empowering them.
I love that. And that's what Ascending Harvest is all about. It's what Shane and I are all about, and that's lifting other people up. You know, it's seeing the greatness, seeing the potential, the opportunity in other people, and doing what we can to lift them up out of their shadows and out of their darkness and out of their poverty and state of poor nutrition. And we'd love for you to join us. Join us by going to ascendingharvest.com, giving us your email address, and we'll keep you apprised of the updates on the project. But even better than that, click that little green Donate Now button, and it'll take you to our Indiegogo campaign. Give us $1, $3, $5, $10, and remember that that is quadrupled with this triple match that we've got going on from a benefactor. We would really love to have your participation, your additional contribution. We've got a few people out there, God bless them, who've given more than once. They've given 2 or 3 or 5 times. $5 here, $10 there. One of them is better well off than that. So every once in a while, she slips us $100, which I am most grateful for. So you can be one of those people too. You can be one of those people that lift up the world, that can be part of the team that changed the way that people grew their own food all around the world. We'd love for you to join us in that cause.
And if you can help us to meet our goal of our crowdfunding campaign, it is literally going to, if we can meet that goal with the matching donors that we have, we are going to be able to do everything on our list that we have slated for this first year. So don't underestimate the power of that dollar donation, that $5 donation, that $10 donation. When we get to our goal, we are absolutely going to be able to accomplish everything that we've outlined to get done this year and have systems in the hands of these communities at the beginning of the next growing season in Africa and in other areas of the world. So this is the time to put it into action and get things going, and we are going to get there. So please help be a part of it and help get us over the top.
We'd love that. And we'd love to have the opportunity to give you a human-powered hydroponic system. When you enter your name at our website or contribute to our campaign in some way, we enter your name into a prize drawing where every time we do one of these updates, almost every time, we didn't on Monday because Shane was having technical difficulties, but today we are excited to resume giving away a human-powered hydroponic system. The way we do that is Shane gives me a number between 1 and 10,000, and I enter it into this little spreadsheet I have here of random numbers, and we come out with the winner for today. Shane, what's your name? What's your number for today?
Okay, it is 7767. 7767.
7767. And the person on our list whose name or number is closest to that is Jill White. Jill White was one of the sponsors of our launch party. She has a company called Jewels to Jet. She's been a client of mine for many years. Lovely, lovely lady with a great product. Jill White, congratulations. You're the winner of a human-powered hydroponic system. When we get these out of mass manufacturing, We'll send one to you, or you can donate it to a family in need at that time. Congratulations, Jill. I'll send you an email pretty quickly with some details on that, but I'm very excited to see that you won it today.
Hey, Paul, since we had technical difficulties on Monday, can we give 2 of these away?
Yeah, I think we can. Would you like to draw another number?
Yeah, let me do another number here.
Okay.
5196. 5196.
I'm grabbing that first number, by the way, so I don't forget it. 5196. A second winner for today is Jason Klug.
Oh, Jason will be so excited.
Congratulations, Jason. You also are a winner of a human-powered hydroponic system, and we'll get one to you, when we get out of mass manufacturing, or you can donate it to a family at that time as well. So I'll send emails out to both of these people with congratulatory greetings from the Ascending Harvest team. We want you to join the team. Go to ascendingharvest.com, join up to be on our list at the website, or better yet, click the Donate Now button and give us $1, $5, $10 with our Indiegogo campaign. Help us reach our goal. I know that you'll be glad you did, and we'll certainly be glad that you did as well. So thanks for joining us today. Shane, I'm going to let you say goodbye to the team, to the folks who are listening, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
All right. Well, I know Jason is going to be really excited because he is growing food at his house, and he's bugged me about every month or so and said, Shane, how can I get one of these? And I told him the only way you can get one is to sign up at our website. So that's what he did, and he won. So I'm super excited for you, Jason. I can't wait to hear about the food that you grow in your own system and feed yourself and your lovely wife. Thank you so much for participating. And goodbye, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, and really appreciate you.
Bye-bye.